All right, let's talk AWS. If you're a developer, jumping into Amazon Web Services for the first time can feel, well, a little intimidating. Today, we're going to lay out a clear roadmap for your first, most important steps. Look, the cloud isn't optional anymore, right? It's where we build and run modern software. But when you log into AWS for the first time, you see this massive list of hundreds of services, and it's overwhelming. It's like someone handing you a dictionary and saying, go write a novel. So the biggest question everyone has is, where do I even start? So before we even think about clicking a single button, we need to get our heads around the big idea that makes all of AWS possible. It really all boils down to one core concept. And that concept is infrastructure as a service, or IaaS. Think of it like this. Instead of buying physical servers and sticking them in a closet somewhere, AWS lets you basically rent virtual computers over the internet. You need a server, you click a button. You need more storage, you click another. It's all about swapping out physical gear for flexible, virtual resources. So why focus on AWS specifically? I mean, there are other clouds out there. Well, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. AWS has a huge chunk of the cloud market, somewhere around 70 to 80%. So learning AWS isn't just about learning a cloud platform. It's about learning the platform that a massive part of the tech industry runs on. It's a critical skill for sure. Okay, so we've got the why down. Now let's get practical. We're going to walk through the very first things every developer needs to do to get started. And we're going to put a huge emphasis on doing it securely, right from the get-go. This is the question where a lot of people just get stuck before they even begin. You're ready to learn, but what's that literal first click? Well, it's all about creating your account the right way. Actually, getting the account is pretty straightforward. You'll just go to the AWS site, put in your contact and payment info, and verify you are who you say you are. And yep, you do need a credit card, but don't worry, we're going to talk about how to control costs in just a second. When you get to the support plan page, the choice is easy. Just pick the basic plan. It's totally free, and it's all you need when you're just starting out. Okay, pay close attention here, because this is probably the single most important security tip for anyone new to AWS. When you first create your account, you get what's called a root user. Think of this as the super admin with the keys to the entire kingdom. The absolute best practice is to take those keys, lock them away, and never use them for your day-to-day work. Instead, your very first action should be to create a separate IAM user for yourself. That's going to be your developer account for everything you do. Ah, the big one. This is the #1 fear for anybody starting out with the cloud, right? We've all heard the horror stories of waking up to a giant, unexpected bill. It's a real concern. But luckily, AWS gives you exactly the tools you need to make sure that never happens. Here is a super simple but incredibly powerful trick for total peace of mind. The minute your account is ready, go and set up a billing alert. And what's the threshold? Just 1 cent. Seriously, $0.01. This way, you'll get an email the moment any charge, no matter how tiny, hits your account. It gives you complete visibility while you're exploring. Okay, your account's created, it's secure, and you've got billing alerts on. So, how do you actually talk to all these services? Well, you've basically got 3 main tools in your developer toolbox. First up, you've got the AWS Management Console. This is the website, the graphical interface. It's your visual dashboard. This is where you'll go to see everything in one place, click around to configure services, and just get a feel for how all the pieces fit together. It's perfect for exploring. Next is the Command Line Interface, or the CLI. This is your command center. Once you start using the CLI, you really begin to understand how AWS works under the hood. It is fantastic for scripting tasks and automating things, letting you manage your resources without having to click through a bunch of menus. And finally, we have the SDKs, or Software Development Kits. This is your direct connection to the code. The SDKs are what let you talk to AWS services programmatically, right from inside your own application. Whether you're writing in Python, JavaScript, Java, whatever, this is how your app talks to the cloud. So, you've got your secure account and you know the tools. Now for the million-dollar question. With this whole universe of services to choose from, which one do you learn first? You know that feeling, right? Analysis paralysis. You look at the giant list of services, virtual servers, databases, machine learning, all of it, and you just freeze. The choice feels like it matters a lot. While the recommendation is actually really clear, you start with the foundation. And in AWS, the foundation is Amazon S3. It's a pretty simple service to get the hang of. and it's a fundamental building block that so many other services and applications are built on top of. So, what is S3? It's Amazon's simple storage service. Now, the key thing to understand is that it's an object storage service, which is not the same as a traditional file system on your computer. Think of it less like a hard drive and more like a nearly infinite digital warehouse where you can store and retrieve anything: images, videos, backups, you name it, from anywhere in the world. All right, so once you've gotten comfortable creating a secure account and you've started to master the basics of S3, you've officially built a solid foundation. So what's the logical next step on your learning journey? The learning path from here actually builds up really nicely. After you're comfortable with S3, you can move on to EC2, which is all about virtual servers. From there, it makes sense to look at RDS for managed databases, and then maybe you can dive into the really cool world of serverless with Lambda. Each step just builds on the one before it. And that's it. Following these first few steps takes all the mystery out of getting started and gives you a clear path forward. You now have a secure foundation and the knowledge to start exploring some of the most powerful tools out there for developers. So the only question left is, what are you going to build first? Hey, if this explainer helped you get started on your own AWS journey, do us a favor and help someone else by hitting that like, share, and subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.